everyone, and welcome to It Matters Radio musical guest interview broadcast. And I always look forward to these broadcasts because we can bring you some of the best, hottest, greatest sounds that you're going to hear. And I tell you, Carrie just searches the whole world for people. And tonight, I just can't wait to hear who she's brought us. So, Carrie, introduce us.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to It Matters Radio. I am delighted to present to you today Brad Schecter. He is a very talented singer, songwriter, musician, and his music is really powerful. So thank you for joining us, Brad, today.
Yes, nice to meet you, Brad.
Nice to meet you. I've heard a lot about you.
I'm in trouble now.
Brad, I first off want to talk to you about your very beginnings. You learned how to play the piano at 6 years of age. What was your big interest in doing piano? What was the draw to start at that particular instrument?
That's a great question. My dad was a jazz trumpet player, and we had an upright Baldwin piano in the living room, and I just would take it upon myself to kind of go and just kind of bang on it a lot and come up with songs at the time. I guess that's kind of how I started writing songs, and I think it was more my mom that said, we should just probably get him lessons. That might help. That might shape him a little bit, so he can actually maybe do. Seems like he has some potential, but I think he might benefit from some lessons. So that's kind of how that started.
Well, that's great. So now, then you learned the drums, or
actually, first it was trumpet. After that, I got into.
Oh, okay.
They wanted to expand me a little bit. My dad was, I thought it'd be fun to be able to play with my dad. Get to do duets and stuff. So I started playing trumpet through middle school, and I always had a fascination with percussion. Obviously, piano is a percussion instrument. I like to use my hands, and I saw. I think it was the drum line from the high school had come to recruit us when I was in 8th grade, and they played for us. I was just mesmerized by that, and I just said, "That's what I want to do. I want to play that."
Wow. What is amazing, Brad, is that this new album has you doing all those instruments. Now, how long did that take, and how hard was that?
It was a little challenging, yeah. The songs that I wrote there kind of span over about 20 years or more so. Some of them I just wrote for the album. Some of them I've been working on for a while. Some I had done. Some of them were unfinished. So I had a good skeleton to work with. I did have to hire someone to play guitar. The guitar is the only instrument I don't play right at the moment. I'm working on that too.
You could learn.
Yeah, he is.
Just teasing.
Exactly. I wrote the parts on piano, so of course they had to be transposed to guitar. So I hired a really good guitarist who plays with Andy Grammer. Actually, he was a friend of the guy that helped me with I started recording the album with. Actually, we used 2 different studios. The one I started with I picked because it was difficult to find a studio in LA that had a grand piano. That was important to me. I really wanted a real grand piano to play on. And towards the end, it really wasn't working out. Just I wasn't getting the right sound, so I ended up going to a different studio and finishing the album there. And there, I had to actually redo pretty much everything except some of the lead guitar and the piano. Everything else I redid all the drums, all the vocals, a lot of the lead rhythm guitar. So it took about 3 months.
But it was worth it because you got the sound of the grand
yeah.
piano, which is so different. And
yes.
Hey, I'm Carrie. I'll tell you, I'm a keyboard lover. It's my favorite instrument.
She really does like that.
Yes.
So, Brad, another interesting thing about you, and Monica, you'll really like this, is he went to college, Loyola College, and studied to be an actor. Now, you got a BA in acting, and did you do any theatrical stuff?
I did. I kind of always did both. At the same time I started with piano, I also did community theater as well. And I played some soccer badly, but kind of knew right away where my aptitude was. It was not on the athletic field, unfortunately. So I kind of did both, and I kind of had a choice. I knew I loved doing both. I just said, which one? I just kind of felt like somehow acting might be a little I hate to use the word easier, but easier to break into, which of course was not the case.
It's not.
No, not at all. But I did have some success with that. I got some work on a recurring role in a couple soaps, and I did some commercials and a lot of student films, some independent films. But it never really, even some stand-up comedy, and it never really made me feel the way music does. And I just always came back to music, and I just knew that's really where I need to be.
I think that's really great. Monica and I come from a theatrical background. That's why we just loved it. We love to hear about acting and stuff. So did you have a favorite play or musical that you really enjoyed doing back then?
One that I was in, you mean?
Yes, one that you were in. Yes, sir.
Yeah, for my senior thesis for Loyola Marymount, I got to do The House of Blue Leaves by John Guare, which is a fantastic play. It's very, very one of the most unique plays I think I've ever seen. It's just so, I got to play piano, I got to sing. It was funny, but yet very dark. You know, it kind of had everything I like. You know, it had the music, it had the humor, it had the darkness to it. So it just kind of had a little bit of everything. So that was a challenging play to do because I had to learn all the songs, obviously, piano parts, and then the monologues were extremely long. Some of them were 4 pages long. So it was very challenging.
Yeah.
It was definitely worthy of a senior thesis for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you wouldn't mind doing maybe acting in the future a little bit, maybe some movies, or if the opportunity happens.
I absolutely would. I don't want it to be my focus anymore. I actually had considered maybe going back maybe getting a commercial agent, starting there, just start simple. Mm-hmm. I don't need the stress of doing the workshop. I really was against the pay to play. I really had a problem with that. I don't feel you should ever have to pay to audition. I think that's just absurd. I think that just takes the art out of it, and it's just not something you should have to do. I think that's really, really a racket. So I was very against that. That's kind of one of the reasons I kind of stopped doing it.
And music is your important focus, especially your new CD, which we'll talk about in a little bit. You have played with some very famous groups, Uriah Heep.
Yeah.
I am very interested in hearing about your connection to Def Leppard. That to me is fabulous. Yes, please.
That's a good story. Really,
rock your head. We love good stories. It's a little
embarrassing, but I don't mind telling you about it. So I had just moved down to South Orange County. I was about 18 at the time, so I was pretty young, obviously. And I started working at Starbucks, and unbeknownst to me, one of the regulars was Phil Collins, the guitarist of Def Leppard. And I literally just started. I think it was my first or second week, and he walked in with his girlfriend, and one of my coworkers was kind of elbowing me and saying, "Hey, that's the guy from Def Leppard." And I totally, of course, I thought she was pulling my leg. I just couldn't fathom why somebody like that would be in Starbucks in Orange County. It just didn't seem to be logical. So being the smart ass that I am, he started walking up to the counter. And I started singing some "Pour Some Sugar on Me," kind of under my breath, like, "Oh!" And then his girlfriend's like, "Hey, wait a minute, we heard that." And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, but you look just like that guy from Def Leppard." I don't even know his name. I was like, that guy from Def Leppard. Has anyone ever told you that before? And he was so nice. He's like, "No, it sort of happens all the time." I was like, he even has an accent. This is great. I had no idea. And so he walks outside, and she's like, "You idiot, that was the guy. That was Phil." And then I was like, "Oh, come on." And my manager walks out going, Phil's here. I'm like, "Oh, no." So I just walked out, and I apologized, of course, and I'm really sorry. I really didn't realize it was you. And he was so nice. He was just like, "No, it sort of happens all the time. I was back in New York about a week ago. This guy came up to me and was like, 'Hey, it's my main man Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.' So it could have been worse." So so that started. So I kind of bugged him enough, so finally I got to jam with him a bit, and we still stay in touch. I gave him my CD. I don't know if he's listened to it yet. He's still on tour, so hopefully he'll get around to it, and we'll see what happens.
That is so very cool, though, that you got connected. So
yeah.
Being a cover band for groups like that, I mean, how hard was that? I mean, that could be pretty disheartening. You're the first band up, right? And then the main band plays, right?
Oh, being the opening band, you mean?
Yes, as being your opening band.
No, not. It didn't bother me. I mean, we got some great gigs at it with my last. You mentioned Uriah Heep. That was with my band when I was singing with Blue Embrace. So that was part of the opening ceremonies for the Sunset Music Festival, which was at the Key Club, which sadly is no longer with us. I really miss it. That was a great place to play. But no, I love, honestly, when it comes to music, I'm just so happy to perform. I'm not picky. I'm not a prima donna. I just don't get that whole thing. I'm just happy. Anytime I get to sing, perform, I'm pretty happy. I really am. I really enjoy it.
Well, actually, I have been to shows, to tell you the truth. way back when they had Day on the Greens. We used to go all
Yep.
the time, and
Yeah.
I have heard the opening bands, and they were better than the one that had all the star treatment.
Sometimes that's what happens. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
then I would see that opening band all of a sudden become quite famous because people. I think it's great exposure for you.
Oh yeah. At this point, that's all you can hope for. I mean, even I released my CD knowing that I'm not gonna get rich off selling my CD. It's not about that. It's about having a piece of work to say, here, this is me. This is what I have. And somebody actually I worked with actually brought that to my attention. She's like, he said to me, you don't really have anything. I was like, what do you mean? I have demos. And I thought about it. I was like, yeah, he's kind of right. I don't really have anything that's really just me. I have me singing cover songs or me singing other people's songs, but I don't really have anything that's just here's me. This is my work, and now I do. So I feel good about that.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Great. So you have a new CD out. If you'd like to show it to our
I would
adoring
love
fans.
to.
Yeah,
There
we
it
want to
is.
see that.
And it is called
Let's-
Live
let's-
Your Dream. Ooh.
It's I went for the digipack. It's less waste, less plastic,
That's nice. Yeah.
Right.
and it's got the pullout. It's got the dedication to my father, and of course all the lyrics, and it tells you the story about what the album's about, the concept, and some still shots from the studio of me playing the piano and playing the different instruments. So
Oh,
Cool.
nice.
So talk a little bit about the genesis of that album, because it is kind of an homage to your life, basically.
It is.
How did it come all about for you?
it wasn't intentional, honestly. It just kind of that's just what ended up happening. It just a lot of the songs, well, not all, most of the songs were written at different stages of my life. I was listening to different influences. Obviously, I have the classical piano influence. That's definitely present there. I'm sure you can tell. Up to Pink Floyd. I was just a Division Bell when I wrote the song "Live Your Dreams." So I definitely had that influence there, and it kind of just tells the whole story. It's one of the songs actually on there. Interestingly enough, the one called "Blind Eye." That one I wrote when I was 17. Actually, that song, and I had no idea what it was about. I just knew that it was about a destructive relationship. And in the past couple of years, some things have happened family-wise, and it ended up being a song about my mom. And I had no idea that would be the relationship that it would be about, but that's what fit, and that's what it ended up being about. Just no more blind eye. I can see now. Just when you have someone in your life who you love and care about, it's amazing what you're willing to overlook. It's amazing the things you're not willing to see. But then sometimes things go so far into the realm of anything that's acceptable that you look back and you go, wow, those things were really always there. I just didn't want to see it. I didn't want to believe it. Now it all makes sense. It all makes sense now.
Love gets
There's-
in the way, it does a lot of times. You're so blind, but
Yeah,
It is. Yeah.
it's a great album, and I'm just so impressed by the music. There is a song, I think it's on the album there's a few that I really like. I think it's called Living in HD. Is that on there? Or I can't remember the title of the song.
Oh, I think maybe you're confusing the video. I have a video for Another Day, and it says Another Day in HD. So I think you're thinking the video.
Yeah, I love the title of that. Yes, I'm sorry. So tell me about that, because that was really cool.
Oh, thanks. Well, that one, and that's again what's kind of fun about playing more than one instrument, because you can kind of write songs from different points of view. That one actually started on the drums. That whole song, I had that beat in my head, that I started on the drums, and I had the beat, and then I took it to the piano. Then I came up with the melody. It kind of came out, and then I just started singing the chorus. Just why can't time stand still? So we could live on, and it kind of took on a life of its own, and it's just really about not giving up and fighting through, and I actually ended up dedicating it to a friend of mine who's battling cancer. Somebody I'd worked with before on General Hospital, and I ran into years later working somewhere else. I said, "Did we used to work together?" And we started talking and realized, yeah, we did. And he's been fighting cancer for the last 3 years and keeps coming back. And so that's really what the song is about, just not giving up and fighting to see another day. So it's kind of how it
we're going to have to play that one.
Yes, we are. We're going to have. It's a great video.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So, out of all the songs, because there are so many that I really like Blind Eye and a few others, what is your favorite, or do you have a favorite song, and why?
Oh, wow. Well, just from a technical point of view,
Sure.
I would say Blind Eye, because that was just that was the monster of a song to do, because there was so much going on. There's time changes. There's there's just a lot going on. There's a lot of soloing between the piano and the guitar. I almost wanted to do kind of a trading fours, like a jazz kind of a thing. That was what I was going for, which I think pulled off. It wasn't easy to do, but it ended up working out really well. But that was definitely a challenging song to put together from that standpoint, and then adding all the extra vocal harmonies and adding the extra lyric at the end. That actually wasn't in there originally. My friend of mine had heard the song, and I just told him, I said, I feel there's something missing. What do you think? And he said, what do you think about putting maybe another lyric at the end? That's all he told me. I said, and then as soon as he said that, something triggered. I'm like, yeah, no more Blind Eye. I can see now. Just right over those O's, with the harmonies, and it just ended up turning out really cool. So I'm very happy with it.
It's funny.
It's
funny how inspiration hits you. It just comes from nowhere.
It does.
And that's why writing songs, I think you can't always just sit down and write a song. You might have an idea and put part of it together, but I think it just has to be the right time.
Absolutely.
And the right moment to capture it.
Right. Yeah. Exactly right. I was just going to say that, like I said, some of the songs were unfinished. I mean, I had the idea, the skeleton, and like for instance, on True Selfie, I didn't have any lyrics for that except for the chorus written, so I didn't really know what it was about. And originally I was going to call it "Meet You, Yourself, and You," but then the whole I was kind of inspired by the whole selfie generation. I kind of made it about that, about these kids that have no sense of who they are as a person, but they're just so worried about getting this perfect selfie every day, and then get upset when they don't get enough likes and they don't get enough comments on it. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? That's not important. It's more
right.
about now, who cares about what everybody else thinks? And don't send that picture just because that's how you want to portray yourself. Try to be honest with yourself and just be who you are. Don't worry about what other people think.
Well, the whole album, Brad, is so honest and it's very moving, and it's such a part of you. I obviously I don't know you that well, but you get the sense from the songs. This is who I am, and it's amazing. Oh my God. I am a big fan of guitar, and I know you didn't play the guitar, but that really went boom. I love that.
Yeah, I told you what to play. I wrote most of the solos and the parts, but we worked together on that. But that's one reason I want to learn more guitar, so I can have an easier time like translating. It's sometimes that presented its own unique challenge. For instance, some of the parts that he played originally ended up not working out. They just weren't the right sound. He was doing a lot of palm muting in the beginning, and that didn't go well with the piano. So I ended up just redoing that rhythm part and just playing it more open-handed, and it just things like that. I would have known that had I been a guitarist. That's something that I probably would have been able to nip in the bud. But not being as familiar with an instrument as I am with my other instruments, obviously that created a little bit.
You just knew it wasn't right. So that
you just knew it wasn't right. And when you have a studio musician, you have them for a day. You don't have a long time to really work it out. But I knew when I heard it, I know that's not quite it. But that's okay. It ended up working out. So
it's an evolving process, and that whole album is just.
Well, I think it's time that we take a break.
Yes.
And we play some music so people know what we're talking about.
Yes.
So here you go, folks. We'll be back after this to chat some more with Brad. Enjoy.
In case you were wondering, he'd rather be dead. When he looks in the mirror, all he sees is red. In case you thought of helping, he'd just go down instead. said. If you're looking for someone else, now you got me instead. In case you call the doctor, I'm all out of meds. I'm on the lonely road. On my In case you were wondering, he's all out of his head. In case you were wondering, enough has been said. When he looks in the mirror, he still sees red. In case you now need some way out, don't leave, just come to bed.
So great to be back and chatting with Brad. Is it? I'm going to say this right. I'm so bad with names. Is it Schecter?
You got it.
Okay, Brad Schecter. Everybody
Ironically,
remember this name.
ironically, that's the name of a really great guitar that I don't have to play at the moment. So it's kind of funny, kind of ironic on that.
It is. It
I'm a
is.
percussionist, pianist, and percussionist. Go figure. But had I known, I didn't know at the time. I should have taken guitar first. But that's okay.
That hey, you'll get it. You get
You
Oh,
you
you
you did
mastered.
fine,
Yeah, you
Brad. And that's an understatement, hun. That really is. It's a wonderful album.
I
So,
wanted to
are you doing any gigs or any shows you'd like to mention to our viewers, and then in the future?
yeah. Yeah, I just did a show at Palladino's last Friday. I'm involved with a couple jams around town at the moment. Scooney G and Friends. It's a great jam. It's a charity event where we're raising money to help kids in music. He mentors children and gets them involved in music, gets them playing together. So it's great. It's a great opportunity to do that. And we're actually making history right now because we're the world's first traveling jam. Usually a jam is you have a home, which we do, which is the Rainbow in West Hollywood on Sunset, which we still do the last Thursday of every month. But now we're actually branching out. So Palladino's loved us. They invited us to play again. We'll be doing the Whiskey pretty soon.
Okay.
I also every Tuesday I'm at the Whiskey for Ultimate Jam Night. So I sometimes I perform, sometimes I just help out, but I'm always there. And yeah, that's what I'm doing. And I'm also talking to a couple different bands right now, possibly fronting them. So that's what we're working on.
Wouldn't that be great?
That's exciting.
Well, you're doing the right thing because what a lot of people are doing is they're not getting the fan base. In the old
Yeah.
days, people went and they got, excuse me, I don't know who's calling me now, but I'm going to hang up. Anyway, they don't get the fan base, and that's what it takes. And, you know, perform as many places as you can. Because
Right.
you can put CDs and everything out like crazy, and you're only going to sell maybe a couple hundred of 'em if people don't know about you. And
That's right.
how they going to know about you by seeing you, by other people telling them, you know, you got to see this hot band and have patience because it'll happen. I wanted to say something about music though. I'm seeing a trend in music changing, and to
Mhm.
me it's for the better.
Oh,
Um, people, it's not even just the music itself, it's the lyrics of the music. And
Yeah.
the young people of today, they're wanting things that have meaning for the
Mhm.
most part. They don't want to just have somebody get up and do a bunch of rap that means nothing. And some rap's really good, it has great meaning behind it. But whatever songs they want to hear, they want to be able to relate to it and
Right.
learn from it and have a message behind it. And I'm so happy to see that coming back. And your music
Yeah.
is an example of it.
Thank you.
So I'm so happy. You guys got to excuse me for a minute while I deal with whoever decided to call me in the middle of an interview.
Speaking of getting to know you, Brad,
I should
Yes.
correct.
where can our viewers and your fans find you and your music?
You can go to my website, which is www.bradschecter.com, and that has shortcuts, links to Reverb Nation, Facebook, Twitter, all that kind of thing. I'm also on Amazon. I'm on iTunes, Spotify,
Good.
YouTube, you name it, anywhere. Yeah, I'm pretty much all over the internet.
Yes, and you
So,
have nine beautiful videos. People, I recommend you go to YouTube and watch these videos that Brad has up because they're really great. Some
I'm about
great
to release.
songs.
Yeah, I forgot to mention on September 30th, I'll be releasing my new video for Just In Case. I think I sent you guys a rough cut of that so you could watch it, but that's not quite finished, but it's going to
Right.
be out September 30th.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Oh, I'm so excited. It's gonna be fabulous. So, Reverb Nation, you mentioned, you have been like in the top 10 for a number of weeks. That's really how exciting. And did you get to be number one of those
I
times?
did. I was actually in the top 10 for a few months straight. I was fluctuating between anywhere between 5 and 3, but I was number 1 for one weekend. Yeah, it's hard. It's a
Wow.
tough thing. That's constantly changing, so it's tough to keep yourself out there. But yeah, I'm still in the charts, but not quite not quite the top 10 at the moment. But that could always change, right? So
Yeah,
Get your music out there. There's all kinds of places that you can because I mean it's we cover a pretty broad audience for the most part, but get it out there because
yeah,
it's great. The big thing that Monica and I really push is that you share your music, share It Matters Radio, or share and get it out there. Oh, Facebook. You're also on Facebook, correct?
yeah. Oh yeah, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, everything.
Yeah, and I think I think I've seen some stuff that you've been doing on there. So keep
Yeah.
that updated. And there's music groups, right, Monica, that you can maybe put your music in. Am I correct?
oh yeah, there's all kinds of music groups on Facebook, that you can share. But more important than him sharing, which I'm sure that Brad does, is that the people who like his music share it.
Yeah,
See,
Right.
what I find is people, they see something, they love it, and they listen to it. And they might make a
yeah,
comment, oh, this was good,
right,
but they
right,
don't share it. They don't
exactly.
get involved. They don't write to you and tell you they liked it. They don't go to their friends and say, oh, you
Mm.
got to hear this. It's sensational. And it's what they need to do because the musicians in today's world, they can't do it all themselves.
Yeah.
They
That's
need the
right.
support of their fans.
That's right. Yeah,
And it doesn't take long now. I mean, gosh, we've got the internet. It's a click.
I know.
It's
Think-
nothing.
I think people just get so there's so much media now. It's like there's just too much of everything. I think people just get overwhelmed with it all.
They
But I
do.
agree with you. But I have had some luck with Reverb Nation. I've got a lot of good comments on that and some shares.
Good.
And I just had a great review come out at Fireworks Magazine. I don't know if you mentioned that, but it came out on Sunday, and they just did a nice review of the album and a nice interview with me. And it's going to have it has a sampler CD attached to it with Another Day on it. So so hopefully that will see what happens there.
Exactly. And just keep doing this type of thing. And
Yeah.
because we want good music. We want to hear
Mhm.
your music and they're going to go away. The bands are going to get sick and tired of all this. They're going to go to other countries and forget about America
Hey.
if you guys don't
Yep.
support them.
Yep.
I mean, quit listening to The Voice and all those. And
Yeah.
because to tell you the truth, you're going to find the really, really exceptional music with the indie artists.
Oh, yes. Amen.
That's where
Yeah.
you're going to find them. The other ones, they want to make money off of them, and that's the way it is. It really is, and it's a cruel world out there, but that's big business controls.
Yeah,
So, uh, are you going to
I
be?
agree.
Are you going to try to set up some tours that, like within the whole state?
Yeah, that's the goal. Right now, I'm just doing local things at the moment. I'm just trying to get some backing there.
Yes.
I want to do one more video and market that a little bit more, and then I think next year, hopefully, I've made enough. Working at the whiskey has been very helpful. Like being there all the time. I made a lot of great contacts, all kinds of great musicians, great players. Hopefully, to put something together from that. Because right now, I have to pay for everybody.
I know.
Yes.
You
And,
have to pay
and that's
the musicians.
another thing.
Yeah,
People don't realize the money that you guys have to spend. I mean,
yeah.
Mm.
they think, oh, they're playing, they're making money doing this gig, and then they have another gig, and every bit of that money goes right back into the music.
It does. It really
Yeah,
does. It's a vicious cycle. Yeah, you spend more than you make for sure in the beginning.
right.
That's for sure. It's all about exposure in the beginning. I'm a person I didn't really want to. I think that's one of the reasons I didn't want to go into music is I was afraid I was going to end up being the bar mitzvah singer or the wedding singer.
But
It
you
just
know
didn't really
what?
appeal.
I
I can't do. Go
I
ahead.
gotta say that if you love music, I don't care where you sing it.
Yeah,
You're doing something you love, and you're going after something that you enjoy doing and you love. You
yeah.
know, so
It's starting to appeal to me now. I didn't finish my sentence. Maybe back
yeah.
then it didn't appeal to me. Now I'm like that or bartending. Yeah, I think I'll sing. I'll sing at Mr. Manischewitz bar mitzvah. Yes, I think I will.
Yes.
I'll do
Why
it.
not? So, I,
I got to brush up on my Hava Megillah, but I'll do it.
Hey,
the,
you never know who's going to be at
you
Mr.
can do it with
Menashe.
the progressive rock beat
Why not?
and
Why not?
piano. Oh,
Some double bass with Hava Megillah. Hava Megillah.
ah, love it. I
Why
absolutely,
not? I
Brad,
have
if
to.
I could, I'd be right over there to hear that. I really would. So this is a standard question. I'm going to ask part of it that Monica asks, and she'll probably ask you the other half. I want to see if you can kind of think back to your concerts or people you've worked with. And did one person or one event stand out for you the most that you remember, that you will always remember?
A concert that I played or when I went to?
Yeah, or yeah, that you actually performed in, or a person you met, a backstage guy that brings the stuff onto the stage. Somebody that stood out that you really liked working with.
It could
Wow.
it could be anything. Because I know you perform a lot, and just asking that, is there any moment that you will always remember?
Right.
Playing with Phil Collin, definitely. That's pretty memorable.
Ah,
I
I
bet.
mean, that's pretty amazing. I was playing drums for him at the time, so to go to his house and walk in and to see just a giant Def Leppard shrine when you walk in, and just it was pretty overwhelming at the time. I was 19. I was like, this is great. It doesn't get much better than this.
I know.
So
Can you imagine
that was
19
wow,
years
yeah,
old and drumming for Phil
wow.
Collins?
that was pretty
Phil
amazing. Yeah,
Collins.
and I mean, there's
It's
been a lot of great players since, but that one definitely probably stands out the most, I would say.
yeah. I
Record and also getting to record with Greg Harris from Andy Grammer's, and what a great guitarist to work with. I mean, it was really a pleasure to get to work with him and just see my music come to life. I mean, that was the first time I'd heard it on guitar, so it was kind of a euphoric almost experience to really hear it come to life like that and hear it with my drums and just like, wow, I've been hearing it on just piano for so long, and just to finally see it take shape was just really something.
Wow. Well, Brad, you've been a really amazing guest. We are going to ask probably one or two more questions.
Yep.
One of my favorites is, and it's a casual, do you have a pet?
I do. Would you like to meet him?
Yes,
Yes.
we would love
Oh,
to
okay.
meet your pet.
I told him to be really good and stay outside, so he wasn't getting in the way of the interview. But I can get him.
Oh, yeah.
Franz!
All right.
What was
Oh,
his name?
He's been waiting very patiently. Here, boy, come here. This is my dog Franz.
Oh, I love.
Say hi, Franz.
Hi, Franz.
Oh gosh, he's beautiful.
Yeah,
Oh.
this is Franz.
Oh
I
God.
had this.
like a furry bear.
Oh, Big Bear.
I've had this breed before. This is a Kieshund. It's a Dutch barge dog. I had one when I was a kid, and I loved him so much I had to get another one. And that one was
Gosh.
named Hans. So this is Franz. Hans and Franz. So this is
Hans and
Franz.
Franz.
Beautiful.
Franz.
Do we,
Franz.
from Saturday Night Live.
Ah,
Right.
Tim.
Oh, but a beautiful dog, Brad. Thank you. Well, we're cat people here.
Well,
And
not
we do have,
really. Care you say that?
well,
but I have
well,
two dogs.
we like cats. I should say cats. We like cats. I'm sorry, Monica.
Too.
But we have Punky the cat. She's the diva cat. And
Oh.
She was here earlier.
yeah, she has a newsletter. And Monica,
Oh,
you
really?
want to tell him a little bit about that? Because
Well, what we'd like to do, and anyone who's listening right now, also, if you would like to get the newsletter, let us know. But our goal in our radio show, and it always has been this way, is to present talent to you and for your enjoyment and people that you might never ever have seen. And we bring the best to you always. But we don't just leave it at that. We just don't want to have an interview with you and say, "Well, Brad, was nice to meet you. Thank you."
Mhm.
We want to know what's going on in your life. So when you do get that next CD out, or you're going on tour, or you're playing somewhere, just drop
Yeah.
us a line and let us know,
Yeah, I
because
will.
we'll get it in the newsletter. And our newsletter actually is from our cat Punky,
Mhm.
and it's called From the Litter Box. So
Yes, great title.
Oh, well.
right. So if anybody would like to subscribe to that and learn about what Brad might be doing in the future, or any of our other guests, just go on to itmattersradio.com, and we'll be happy to send it to you.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So, gosh, Brad, I'm just I can't say how pleased I am to have met you and to have
Too.
shared your music. And we're going to share a little bit more music also, because I can tell that this is a love of yours. I mean, since 6 years old when you started out, and it's coming from the heart.
Yeah.
And we like to present pure music, and so I tell anybody can get into a studio and make all these, fake sounds, fake vocals, fake everything,
Sure.
but it takes real talent to just sing the vocals, play the instruments, and that's what
Right.
music really is.
Hmm.
It's about making you feel something. I think it's not just about being technical and being look what I can do. It's if you don't make a visceral connection, then I feel like why do I bother? That's
Right.
that's how I feel.
Right. And most musicians, and I'm sure you do this because you want people to enjoy themselves.
Sure.
You want them to hear something they can connect to.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm
So,
sure.
Brad, show us that CD one more time,
Yes.
so our viewers can. It is Brad Schecter, and it's called "Live Your Dreams." It's a beautiful. There he is. Very powerful CD. Purchase it, and we will have Brad say where we can find the music once again. It's Reverb Nation. Where else?
Well, if you want to purchase it, which is even better, you
Right.
can get it on. You can go to, if you want a hard copy, you can go directly to cdbaby.com.
Okay.
CD like as in baby. You can get it on iTunes. You can download there. You can go Amazon.com, Google Play Store, pretty much anywhere you want to buy music. And if you want to, just preview it, you can get it on Spotify. Obviously, listen to it on Spotify if you like it. Hey, buy it. Lasts forever.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Listen to it. And if you think anybody else might like the music, what a great gift.
Yeah.
'Cause the thing about music is it lasts forever. It's not something that you just, do one time and it's over. Something you can enjoy.
I saw a sign somewhere, or maybe it was a meme on Facebook, something about people are willing to pay, $3.50 for a cup of coffee. That's something you drink once, throw it away. Costs nothing to make, but they don't want to spend 99 cents for a song that spent hours and years
I know.
to make.
And blood, sweat,
They
and
want us to
tears
be
to get it done.
Yeah. So I always buy the music. I always believe people
Right.
deserve to be, rewarded for their work and time they put into it.
So anybody who's in your area, and what is your area, by the way? Tell people where you
Los
are.
Angeles. In the Los Angeles area. I'm in Hollywood, so yeah, anywhere around there.
And and let them know where you're going to be playing next again. So if they're, those that are listening from that area can go see you.
Right. Well, I'll be at the Rainbow Room the end of this month, last Tuesday of the month. I don't have my calendar in front of me at the moment. Do you know the date on that? It'll be the last Thursday of this month.
Last Thursday of this month?
My calendar. Sorry, I should have looked at this. That would be the 29th. I will be at the Rainbow Room on the 29th.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And I will be at the Whiskey again and also Paladinos next month, but I don't have the dates quite yet ready for those yet. But I will post them on my website. And they'll be
Okay.
posted on Mission.
Great. They can
Right.
follow you.
And Facebook.
And what's your
Right.
what's your website one more time?
Website is www.bradschecter.com. And that has all the links to everything. It has my link to my Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. It's the one-stop shop.
Yeah, that's why I love websites, because you only have to go there,
Exactly.
and you can get everywhere else.
SoundCloud too.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I mentioned SoundCloud as well.
And SoundCloud.
Right.
Okay,
SoundCloud.
sounds great. Well, Brad,
That
thank
covers
you.
it.
I want to thank
Thank you.
you so much for joining us this evening and sharing a little bit of yourself with everyone.
Doggy!
We got to see him one more time.
Don't kill me, Ron! Don't kill me! My dog is attacking me!
Oh, no.
You're watching it live, and we're doing nothing.
He's a big love bug.
He is.
He's so wonderful. I love him.
And ladies,
He's-
look, he loves dogs, so
Love dogs.
he loves animals.
That's my selling point. I'm a dog lover.
Cool. That is so cool. Thank you, Brad. So very
Thank you,
much.
Jerry. Monica.
We will. Your show will be on soon, and we have after your show, we will send you a YouTube link, and you can have that forever and to share it on your website.
Great.
And I will get that to you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
I was just
Brad.
saying, thank you so much for being accommodating to my schedule. I appreciate it.
Oh, anytime, Brad. You take care and keep in touch, okay? Oh, Brad, do
For
you
sure.
do you have any Christmas or Halloween songs?
I should work on some.
Well,
I listen.
We want
It's my favorite holiday. I am working on it. That's definitely. I wanted to release a Halloween album at some point. I think because that's my favorite holiday. So
I am too. I love it. Well,
I love Halloween.
Yeah.
if you get
Watch out.
anything before this holiday, send it to us, because we're gonna have a
Yeah.
special Halloween and then a special Christmas show. Okay?
Great.
And
We
we'll
love it.
Sounds good.
Big hint. Oh,
Okay, Brad. Thanks a lot. You take
thanks,
care.
Brad.
Thank you so much, ladies. Have a great night.
You too.
You
Talk to you
too.
soon.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye. Peace out. Oh, nice guy.
I
Great.
wanted to let everybody know, because you were mentioning it, that we have the availability of all of our podcasts. If you miss a show, I mean, we hope you're going to be here live with us. But if for some reason you miss a show, you can go to It Matters Radio on YouTube and just go under our playlist, because we have several different playlists according to whether it's a musical guest,
Mhm.
our special shows that we have from Monday through Saturday that are music shows. And we'll have the top 10 from World Music Stage up there. You can listen to those from each week. We'll have the
Mhm.
top 20 from Euro Indie Music.
Yeah.
And those are up each week. And we also have these podcasts from our musical guest interviews. So, and one other thing that's really, really exciting. I don't know if you've heard of them, but if you haven't, check them out. They're called Ion Indie Magazine. And you say, well, why would I want to check out a magazine? It doesn't sound very interesting. Well, because they have some of the best music you're ever going to hear.
Mhm.
And what they do, they don't have the music there, but what they do is they feature musical guests each month
Mhm.
in their magazine. And we are so fortunate to have partnered with them and World Stage Music and also Music and Film to bring you great music. But we play every Thursday that month's featured artist. So if you miss it one Thursday, don't worry about it. Come back the following time and you can see it there. And if you miss all of those, go to YouTube and you'll find it.
Mhm.
So we try to cover everything. And please go to www.itmattersradio.com, subscribe to our newsletter, take a
Mhm.
look around. you can go to the page there and um, just it doesn't have the old podcast, but what you can do is just click on there and it'll get you to the live shows and also it'll get you to the playlist
Mhm.
at YouTube. So, and there's some great reviews and such. Carrie, you've done some reviews there on
Yes,
guests.
we have. There's some interesting people we've interviewed over the past few years that we've written about. So do check us out and spread the word. We love talent. We love showing you talent. Monday through Saturday, we live video music. Sunday, our favorite day, is our special show, which is shown at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
That's the Music Cafe. That's what it's called on Vaughn. And then there's our spoken word.
Yeah,
At,
sometimes we have spoken word on
right,
at 7 p.m. So you can just
right.
check it out and take a look if we have one on for that week or not. It's all according because we want to bring you the best guests that we possibly can.
Yep.
And that's what we're going to do. We're not just going to put anybody on because we have to have a show for that spoken word guest show. No, we're going to get you the best, and
Right.
we'll always let you know. And follow
Right.
us on Facebook. And with that, guys, I think we're ready for some more music.
Yes.
So here you
Hey,
go,
Brad.
folks. Enjoy this music. Enjoy Brad's. And please check his website out. I know you'll enjoy it. Bye, Carrie.
Bye-bye.
Just another day to be. All seems the same to me. I wake up and look outside. It's beautiful yet I hide. I know I'll still have time, but it could never be enough. Explain to me the reason why. Explain to me the reason why.